Minnesota Vikings have started to get after it in free agency, signing Harrison Phillips from the Bills as well as Jordan Hicks from the Cardinals. But what about O-line? For millennia, it seems like the Vikings have been like, hey, what about O-line? O-line, 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 O-line. Well, the Browns may have just given the Vikings just a little bit of nice out there as they released a center, JC Tretter, who should have been a Pro Bowler for all these years, but what can you do? And it's amazing that he's hitting the market at this time, and it just makes so much sense in the world that the Vikings need to move heaven and earth to go out and get JC Tretter and fix up this offensive line. It makes so much sense. It's probably why it won't happen, but let's talk about him today. JC Tretter, 31 years young, 6'4", 307. He was a 2013 fourth-round pick out of Cornell. Perhaps you've heard of it. He played for the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers, but don't hold that against him. No big deal. Jumped to the Browns in 2017, spent 5 years in the Cleve, was consistently a top 5 to 10 center in the league. Last year, he posted an 83.7 PFF pass blocking grade, good for a Doso, number 2 center in the league, only allowing 10 pressures and a sack. So yeah, Baker Mayfield, he was bad, and it wasn't because of his O-line. I mean, the Browns frankly had the best offensive line in football, and also he only allowed 6 sacks in 5 seasons with the Browns, which is kind of nice. I mean, Bradbury does that in the afternoon. It happens. And he never missed a game in Cleveland due to injury. He did miss one game this year due to the Rona. He protected Baker. He led the way for Nick Chubb in that great running game. He was a leader up front, called protections, and he's also the NFLPA president, which can't hurt having him in your back pocket, which is nice. Plus, Kwesi was in Cleveland with him the last couple of years, so he would know JC Tretter extremely well. Plus, schematically, up front, KOC seems to bring a lot of the similar concepts that Stefanski had in Cleveland. So stylistically, it would be a perfect marriage right off the bat. Now, he's probably going to get 8, 9, 10 million in free agency. Just looking at some of the absolute mind-boggling numbers that are out there, Tretter is still playing at extremely high level. Center is one of those positions where centers can play into the mid-30s at extremely high level. Look at Alex Mack. And the Vikings can free up money by restructuring Harrison, Thielen, Dalvin, or redoing Danielle Hunter's roster bonus, turning it into a signing bonus, prorating it. They can find the money to sack up and get JC Tretter, and so that Kirk Cousins doesn't get sacked up all that often in 2022, which would be nice. Plant his ass in the middle of the offensive line, and a lot of your problems are going to be solved because they're close. They are close. We said if they can just figure it out at the pivot. I'm not holding my breath on Bradbury, but maybe they could cinch things up. Chris Cooper, KOC, Wes Phillips and company can get something done up front. But JC Tretter is just going to be that rock, just that guy that you sign up to a 3-4 year deal. He can play out the rest of his career in purple. He can be that man in the middle for the Vikings, just using his leadership, just using his smarts up front, and really getting the Minnesota Movement Company back up and running. And maybe Wyatt Davis is the answer at right guard. Maybe Ezra Cleveland continues to progress and becomes a really solid left guard. And then you already have your 2 bookend tackles in Darrisaw and O'Neal. And what is great about it is that then you head into the draft not desperate to nail interior offensive line help. So that way you can have all of your options open, because we are team BPA, not drafting for need. Even though Tyler Linderbaum may be your BPA at 12, if you don't get JC Tretter or a very solid center in the interim in free agency, you have to take him. So maybe there's some other great talent on the board that you would preferred if you would have signed JC Tretter, but now you have to take Linderbaum, which would not be the end of the world. Not gonna lie, I do love me some Tyler Linderbaum. So I do think that JC Tretter should and could be that guy that comes in and figures out the pivot for the Vikings. And then guess what? Sign a veteran cornerback, maybe bring back Patrick Peterson at near the league minimum, maybe bring in another body so then you aren't desperate, you aren't thirsting for cornerbacks at the top end of the draft. And hey, if you do take a corner, say you take Sauce Gardner or Stingley at 12, it's because he's the best player on your board, not because it's a position of need. Same thing with Linderbaum. Take a player at 12 just because he's the best player on your board. Because that's what free agency is for. Free agency is about filling needs. Draft is about BPA. But we dream, man. Just JC Tretter, one time out. But your thoughts are thoughts. The Vikings need to sign former Cleveland Browns center JC Tretter. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.